Alright guys, in today's video I think we have a pretty relevant topic to go over and discuss here, and this has to do with the next generation consoles possibly being delayed into 2021. What is the likelihood of this happening based off of everything that's currently going on and what we know currently? And we have two different reports to go over and discuss here. One comes from DFC research firm, where they firmly believe the chances of these consoles being delayed is very high and very likely. But we have another report that comes from the insider known as danw, Ahmad, where he is saying that as of right now there are no clear signs that this is what is going to happen, but he does add that it could change at any moment. So we are definitely going to discuss this here. It's also worth noting that this report coming from DFC Intelligence, while they do make it seem pretty unfortunate that, these consoles will most likely end up being delayed, they do go on to say that based off of everything they know right now, it seems that consumer demand for these next generation consoles is going to be absolutely massive, which is a really good sign. So before going any further, if you could do me a favor, be sure to hit the like button on this video. It really helps it out more than you know. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well so you never miss a future upload. But it says here, according to DFC Intelligence, there is a very real chance that one or both the next generation consoles from Sony and Microsoft, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, will miss their scheduled holiday 2020 release window due to supply chain issues caused by COVID-19. This is exactly what they had to say. Coronavirus is likely to have a major short-term impact on the delivery of both systems. There is a strong likelihood one or both systems will not make a 2020 launch. If the systems do launch, supply will likely be constrained and initial pricing could be higher than expected. Currently, the economy is in an unprecedented state of uncertainty. Even if the situation clears up in a few weeks, the ability to manufacture and release a high-end new game system has already been severely impacted. AMD, which supplies custom SoC for both the PS5 and Xbox Series X, said only a short while ago that next generation is still on track. However, the possibility of a delay cannot be discarded yet, with the pandemic slowly subsiding in China, but just about exploding in Europe and North America. It's not all doom and gloom from the latest DFC Intelligence report for Sony and Microsoft, however, as the research firm agrees with IHS Markit's Piers Harding Rolls that consumer demand should be stronger than ever when they launch. So this is what they had to say about the consumer demand. The good news is that consumer demand is likely to be stronger than ever. Demand will far exceed supply, and long-term that could increase overall sales. In addition, the abundance of government and public caution should help assure this is a comparatively short-term crisis. Both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X will release to record consumer demand. The challenge Sony and Microsoft face is making sure they release systems that meet expectations. Given the current situation, waiting to make sure they get the initial product right is the most prudent choice. So there we go. That is what DFC Research had to say about the situation, but I also just want to acknowledge what danw Ahmad had to say about the situation when it comes to the possibility of both of these consoles getting delayed. It says, according to danw Ahmad, there are currently no signs that this will actually happen when it comes to the delay. The analyst does add that this can change very quickly, but at the moment of writing, there's no reason to believe that both the Xbox Series X and PS5 will be delayed. So he says here that regarding supply chain, Switch has been impacted due to production halts in China. 90% of all consoles shipped to the US in 2019 were produced in China. Production is starting to ramp back up again, so the impact should be fairly limited, given demand in Q4 is higher than in Q1/2. Regarding next-gen consoles, always discussions regarding the ongoing situation. No reason to think there is a delay to holiday launch, but things can always change very quickly. Now, I feel as though it was kind of important to acknowledge this because danw Ahmad is a very well-known insider and he usually knows what he's talking about. He certainly has some pretty high-up contacts, and so I think the overall situation is fairly interesting and kind of depressing. I won't lie. It's depressing to think that we have to sit here and determine whether or not for console enthusiasts and for gamers who are excited for the next generation, whether or not this is actually going to be a reality. Because as I've said before, if they do end up getting delayed, that's really unfortunate, because that means that the situation with this virus has just gotten worse, not better. And so if they don't get delayed, in my opinion, that's a good sign overall. It seems like things are going to improve over time. It's nice to hear that apparently it has peaked in China and that apparently they're starting to recover there and things are starting to ramp back up. So hopefully this is a good sign for everybody and things won't continue to get any worse. But I will say that I wouldn't mind the consoles getting delayed. I really think that what DFC research, what this research firm had to say about the most important thing is making sure for both Sony and Microsoft that they nail the launch of these new consoles, that everything is done right and they don't try to rush anything and end up making some type of critical mistake or major error. I think that is truly the most important thing, and so it will be very interesting to follow this and continue to see what happens. While I don't have an answer for you here today as to whether or not these consoles will be delayed, we basically have one research firm saying that it seems likely they will, and if not, there will be a really huge, demand for these consoles, but the supply won't be able to meet that demand at first anyway. But we also have Ahmad saying that as of right now, there's no reason to believe that these consoles won't hit their launch window of holiday 2020. So at this point, I'm going to leave it to you guys. Leave your thoughts down below. Are you expecting both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X to be delayed into 2021? If they were to be delayed into 2021, what month do you think they'll launch in? I would assume it would be March, but who knows? And if you don't think they're going to be delayed, do you think there's going to be a supply shortage? Let me know your thoughts down below. Again, leave the video a like if you did enjoy it or found it informative. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon so you never miss an upload, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.